We are back now with the 2-year-olds. My drink's cold. Back now with the 2-year-olds. This is one of my favorite times of the year. I'm going to pretend this insanity doesn't exist and just talk as if it didn't. The 2-year-olds are on schedule, and this is one of my favorite times of the year because I get to talk about the 2-year-olds. Get to talk about how good they're going, or even if they're not going good, how we expect to mitigate that, change that, and fix them around. We have very few horses that are in need of assistance right now. Obviously, you look at Brilliant Corners. We're working hard on him. There's not really many more other than Brilliant Corners, to be honest. Let me start with them. Let's just get right to them. Adrenaline Rush was fantastic this week. Got up and won the race and the training set. I call them races. The training set. And somebody said, geez, you know, Kevin was a little rough on him. Once in a while, you got to spark him up, make sure he does his work. I was thoroughly impressed with the way he looped up to the lead, took the lead, and then held off everybody and drove away. It was very, very impressive. And that's a very important thing and very hard thing to teach a horse, but a very important thing. Very impressed with the way Adrenaline Rush finished off his mile this week. Argento was good again, quietly. I'm going to try and go with him one of these days. You guys are always, a couple of you are like, he's doing this or he's doing that. Relax. Argento's just fine. He's just kind of in neutral right now. I'll jump up and we'll put him in drive this week, this coming week. I would imagine Barbie's Crown was very good again. Tried to take some of the weight off of her yesterday. I wait after all the 3-year-olds went. I went up and trained Barbie's Crown with Italian Grit, and Italian Grit made a break, and then Barbie's Crown without the bell boots on swung to the pace and ripped her shoe off. So James and I both, we were going with them. We went back in. Put bell boots on them, put the shoe back on Barbie's Crown, went out and trained them. They were fantastic. It's really hard to believe a little pair of bell boots can make that much difference. But Barbie's Crown was night and day, and so was Italian Grit. Beef and Cheddar continues to be good. I know a lot of people are saying, hey, it's a little rough in the turns. We were really rocking the last half or more in that set. And Beef and Cheddar was very, very, very good. Not quite as good as Gray as the New Red, but very, very good. And take nothing away from him. This is a talented colt, and if he's a little bumpy on the halves, we'll continue to work on that. But the good news is the vast majority of his racing will be on bigger tracks, so no concerns with Beef and Cheddar at all at this point. Braemar was nice and quiet and behaved all week. Really, really impressed with the way this colt's coming on. Better's Hope just bit off a little more than he could chew the other day, trying to take on One My Heart Hanover in the last 3/8 of the mile. But we were trotting and pacing pretty fast on the end of it. And Better's Hope looked good to me. Really finished up his mile well. Blue Monk, quietly, not a lot of people notice this, went the fastest mile of the day the other day because he sat last and ended up a closing third into a really, really quick pace. Blue Monk went the fastest mile of any of our colts so far this year in his own training mile in the middle of the week, and looked very, very good doing it. He's no joke, make no mistake. Blue Monk has all the tools, and he's more than happy enough and more than smart enough to use them all. This could be a really, really nice colt. Really impressed with Blue Monk. Brilliant Corners, not super impressed with him so far. He's really got a bad mouth on him. Hooks on and just won't behave. It's just really a counterproductive colt. Everything he does is just the opposite of what you want him to do. He's pacing well, so I guess that's a plus right now. But just will not relent. My God, he's got a bad attitude. So anyway, Brilliant Corners. Gonna keep chipping away at him, trying to get him polished up. It's gonna take a lot of polish. Broadway Roll continues to do her work well. Just a really nice little filly. Cambridge Star continues to do all he can do. He's just turned into a nice horse to be around. Is he going to be a stake horse? Probably not, but he's going to be an effective little horse to race, and I like him. Can't Deny My Spirit as back training now. A little soft, but he's getting back into the swing of things. I'm going to go to the barn today. He's not missing any days for the next little while. He's going to jog this looks like this afternoon now. Can't Muscle Me has been very, very good the last 3-4 weeks. Just really getting her confidence underneath herself and looked great training again yesterday. Really impressed with her. Captain's Maid has been good throughout. Carry a Big Stick. Remember what I told you. Carry a Big Stick is coming into his own. We found that splint, that last little problem that was really bugging him. I think the next time you see Carry a Big Stick go, you'll be like, geez, he looks pretty good. Within the next 3-4 weeks, he's really going to start to turn some heads. It's a colt that wants to do his work very, very badly, and we are now slowly getting him in a position where he can. Cut the Line was great training. Amy went with Cut the Line yesterday. She looked good. Darling Please was good, has been good again this week. Lots to do with this filly, but you can tell as a raw piece of material, she is talented. She's got a lot to offer, but still a lot to do with her. The good news is she's manageable, she's smart. The opposite of like Brilliant Corners right now, where he's a little ignorant and stubborn. She's the opposite, but still got a lot of polishing to do on both of them. Very, very green. Desperados it continues to be a nice colt, just really does his work well. Eternity Road, top of the class again. Second this week, actually, to Won My Heart Hanover in the overall list, but he's one of our best horses. He's built like a monster. He looks like a monster, and I have every reason to believe he's going to stay sound and be a monster. So Eternity Road is amongst the top of the class. First Glance, they say he's a little hot, a little strong in the mouth, this guy. I'm going to start going with First Glance every day this week. We're going to get to the bottom of this foolishness where he's getting a little hot and strong in the face. That's a little ridiculous. He's not that big. Got a beautiful gait to him. He's a nice colt. He certainly doesn't need to be hot. We're going to polish that up nice and neat this week for sure. Fox Valley Britska was quiet and did his work well yesterday. Maybe we're getting to the end of this ignorance. I don't know. But this is an extremely durable and strong colt. If we can stop him from being such a little mongrel, he can be great. He looked some good yesterday. Sat in the 2-hole. The guy in the front drifted off the rail, and he shot right through and drove away. Fox Valley Britska looked great yesterday. Philly Fringes looked good yesterday. Girls with Swirls looked good. All these horses, yesterday was a very slow day, but they did their work like professionals. They did their work very well. Gray is the new red. Not shocking. GW Chrome. Not that surprising the way he's been. We're all very good. Holy Chick. Now, Italian Grit took 2 trips with him. Had to make an equipment change, but he was fine afterwards, as was Barbie's Crown. Glare AM, I didn't see her go. Johnny McKinnon went with the Glare AM, said she was lights out. She was perfect. I told you she would continue to get better and better and better. When we make this final shoeing change on her, you're going to really see how good she can look. I know she looks good, and Johnny was happy with her, but that's just scratching the surface. This is a really talented filly, and I think she's going to come on real soon. I'm a Lovely Lady continues to look good. I'm Hill on Wheels did his work well. Jazzy Judy starts back on Monday, tied up a little bit last week jogging. Not a big deal. Judy will start back full-time on Monday morning. Jesse Balboa, we had his leg ultrasounded. He hit himself trotting, put a little bump on his leg. Not a big deal. We just ultrasounded to make sure he was okay, and he was. He's fine. So Jesse Balboa also will be back next week. Keystone Raven, she kicked the wall and bruised her leg a little bit. We ultrasounded that. No big concerns there. She starts back jogging tomorrow. Very lightly. Let's Roll On looked good yesterday. I saw him train. Lincoln Hanover trained in 240 with no hobbles. He looked good. Miss Meringue, I missed the end of the mile, but the first half I saw when I was coming off the track in a training set, and she looked really good. Mama Knows Best continues to do her work well. Momo was good. My Jazz was good. Pretty hard not to be good when you're used to going in 232 and you're backed up to 240, 241. But everybody I saw go was good yesterday. So this is going to be a little tedious. No free lunch. Again, look fine. Northern Blizzard on the right line a bit, but I think he'll be on the right line for a couple of weeks. We were pretty hard on him for a few weeks, and he's starting to get a few little aches and pains. Back up with him. When he comes off that line, we'll start firing him up again. No big deal there. Just light workouts until that time comes. Off-Road Hanover, I didn't see him go yesterday. I saw Steve Labonte go on the track with him. He said he was happy with everybody he went with yesterday, so we're going to file him under this guy also. I can't imagine there'd be anything Off-Road Hanover would do wrong, would alert anybody. He's really got a beautiful gait and a nice way going. We had just castrated him 2 weeks ago, so more light work coming his way on Wednesday, and then Saturday we'll push them all a little bit again. Perfect Record, Danny said was good again. Now, when I saw him on the track, he looked a little hot. I think we're going to put a hood with earplugs on him. And if he stays hot for a little while until we get him thawed out, he was castrated also. We might put a little ace-promazine in his feed also. He can get a little wiry sometimes, this horse. Rito Sunshine trained better. Harry went with him the other day. A little more stern with him in training, and he was much better. Rose Run Why Not trained good for Danny. Now, around midnight, it's hard for me to talk nicely about Round Midnight right now. He's just a horse, and I don't know whether he's just too immature or what he is, but he's just a horse right now. And I had talked, Bob and I own the horse together. I think we're probably going to move Round Midnight on at some point. It just doesn't strike me as he's going to be a very effective 2-year-old. Listen, I hope he does well. We love his sister Capistrano, but he's not Capistrano. And I think hopefully we can put him in a spot where somebody can have some fun with him, but it might not be us in the near future. Roy Hill was fantastic the other day. Flip-flops on, we let his hobbles out 2 holes, let his head way down. Just different horse. Was very, very comfortable and very strong the other day training. Really happy with him. Set the mood. John Evans, become friends. We've become friends over the last little while. He plays a big role in the stable, but he loves horses. Him and his daughter absolutely love the horses. And he asked me the other day, why does Set the Mood get his head in so bad in the turns? It's because he's not sound. And that's the easiest way to put it. Set the Mood is not a sound horse. If his body doesn't fail him, he could be any kind of horse because he wants to be a good horse. We're keeping a very close eye on him. As you guys know, we backed his training off for 3 weeks until he got comfortable again, but he's so happy on the track. You watched him the other day when Mario looped the field. He's one of those horses where when he loops to the front, he's in attack mode. He's not crazy or uncontrollable, but he likes not just to win, but win handily. He likes to compete, and he's just a great horse with a great attitude, and I really hope he stays sound enough we can get him raced. I doubt you'll see a pile of racing out of him on the New York half-mile tracks as a 2-year-old if they do race. I think we might be able to see some racing here in Ontario for him, though. Just a nice colt, and we're going to do everything we can to continue to let him be the best horse he can possibly be. So Admirable continues to be good every single week. She was good again this week. Saurus Blue Chip, little bumpy, little out of gear, but we'll get those wrinkles out of him as he works through them between now and June. He looked good again this week and yesterday. Stacy Hanover was really good yesterday again.